Welcome everyone to another edition of a WWE pay-per-view podcast. This is probably the last time that we'll be doing one that is normal, and then very soon after SummerSlam, we're going to start going to two every single month. And when we're covering Ring of Honor, that'd be three. And then if we'd have to cover TNA, that could potentially be four. And that's before NXT TakeOver comes into account.
KMS.
So, my name is Owen. As always, joining me, we have the Popcaster panel. Small for now, but everyone should be coming in later. I have Travis.
Hi.
We just finished watching Battleground.
Well,
So, I guess we're just going to go right into it.
yeah.
Let's talk about the pre-show. Shout out to Andrea DeMarco for being a backstage interviewer tonight.
Yeah, she was on the Snapchat too. I'm like, usually Kathy Kelly's the one that's running the Snapchat.
She wasn't even on the show tonight.
I know.
I will also state that it was really awesome to see the birthday boy, Greg Hamilton, as the ring announcer tonight.
Yeah, ring announcer tonight.
That was nice. As I said on Twitter, and as I'll say here, shout out to Greg. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Cesaro has an interesting point when it comes to the panel. He joined the panel. He says he's frustrated about sitting there and not being in the ring. Because we're talking about Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens at the time. And that's pretty much the end of that. He's like, I'm tired of sitting here. I'd rather be wrestling. I don't want to just talk and say what I'm going to do. I like that. He also said that he was pretty much what they were talking about earlier, with Cesaro being legit mad about having to go to the show that's more talking than working. But, I mean, there's probably a little truth to it, but I don't know how to take it at this point. As long as Cesaro gets something out of it, that's all I care about at this point.
Yeah.
We get Tom Phillips in the social media lounge. He's got Mick Foley and Daniel Bryan. Foley makes a mistake right off the bat, saying Bryan's inducted in the Hall of Fame. No, Mick, that comes next year. Basically, in 2 months, he doesn't want people thinking about Shane and himself. He wants it to be about the names, the boys in the back, Apollo Crews, Baron Corbin, new stars. That's an interesting choice. Mick said that was his answer. He wants to be less about management and more about the stars. Keep that in mind. So they asked about drafting a legend of the brands. Foley picks Terry Funk, shock surprise. Bryan picks Shawn Michaels, again, shock surprise. Foley wants to see the superstars interact better, especially carrying 3 hours on Raw. Bryan says they have some risky ideas for SmackDown that may be hit or miss. He's excited to try to bring out the best in the male and female rosters. Bob Backlund is there, and he's getting Darren Young warmed up for the Intercontinental title match tonight. Maurice is putting makeup on the Miz. Morrow and Byron come to the ringside area, and that's how we start off our first match of the evening. Welcome, Ashley. I should know by now. Every single time I welcome him, he's not quite there yet. So yeah, we'll get to Ashley momentarily. Opening match: Tyler Breeze and Fandango taking on Jimmy and Jey Uso. Breeze and Fandango got a good reaction coming out. Usos got booed. Guilty by association, I guess. Jimmy got tagged in. Jimmy's wearing a t-shirt this time around, so I could tell who's who. Thankfully. Jimmy hit my... Yes, Travis?
New era. That's the reason why.
I don't know anything about this new era. They're just new ugly logos. Samoan drop for both Breeze and Fandango. Jimmy kind of does a little Tamatonga strut to set up the Rikishi special in the corner. Uh, so it goes awry for a while. Jimmy hits the thrust kick shindig to Breeze, and he goes up top for the Samoan splash, but Fandango picks the feet, and Breeze ended up putting the knees up on the second Samoan splash attempt, and Breeze rolls him into a cradle and gets the win. Yes, Fandango and Tyler Breeze win.
They beat the Usos.
I'm very happy about this. Number one, it's hard to say this given the fact that tag titles are not on their brand yet, but I think that number one, I think they should be drafted to Raw, so they can go after the New Day.
Yeah.
I want to see the New Day against Breeze and Fandango. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Big win. Crowd was into it. Very happy about that. Usos have been so lukewarm. It's not even funny. It's just I enjoyed what I saw. The right team won over, and hopefully they'll build something out of this. I mean, granted, it's going to be hard for me to watch SmackDown, given the fact that my work schedule makes it impossible for me to watch SmackDown this week. But I mean, I'll have to check it out somehow, some way, and check out some of the matches.
Yeah.
But your thoughts on the match?
I thought it was a good match. The Usos still suck.
Okay, first off, number one, welcome Jeremy. Second off, the Usos don't suck; they're just overplayed.
If they didn't say, "Oh, they're family with Roman and The Rock," and let's talk about The Rock's new movie, I would be okay with the Usos. Whenever I started watching WWE, I was like, "Oh, the Usos are cool," and then I'm like, "Wait a second, they're related to The Rock? Okay, that's even cooler." And I'm like, "Wait, who's this?" Like, whenever I first started watching, they didn't have Roman for some weird reason on that night. He was probably hurt or something like that. But he was on SmackDown. I'm like, "Wait, who's this guy?" And then it's like, I guess that's Roman Reigns. I'm like, "Oh, so this is the guy that he can't wrestle. He sucks." Wow, the Usos suck now in my brain. That's exactly what I said.
You missed a lot of the really great stuff that the Usos did. The Usos have had some great matches. And it's a shame that you caught up with wrestling way after they stopped having great matches. Yeah. Ashley, are you there yet?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Problem solved. Thoughts on the opening match?
I mean, it was okay. It's not, it's really not that they've done badly. I think it's just the fact that they think because they think that they can copy the Young Bucks and get over in the same way.
Mm-hmm.
When the thing is, the Bucks have a different chemistry,
Right.
and of course, the big difference is they're heels.
Yeah.
Majority of the time. But people respect them, for some of the crazy stuff that they do. Whereas with the Usos, you feel it's not even that they're related to Dwayne, it's just the fact they're from that Samoan family.
Right.
Where it's like, well, it's the equivalent of, well, if you've got the surname or related to somebody with the name Anawati, you're gonna get put on somewhere.
I agree with
don't
that.
think there's anybody in the Jackson family other than those two
This is true.
that is in the business.
Yeah.
So I think that's just the reason why they're being treated with contempt right now. That they've got the opportunity to earn it back and whatever, but with respect, it needs to be like the old school stuff, and they need to stand on their own 2 feet
I agree.
and not be, not be only seen when they're tagging along with their brother. Which, admittedly, they haven't been for the last few weeks, but it's still, these fans have a long memory.
This is true. Oh yeah, this is definitely true.
You gotta wait.
So I want to make sure I got this. I've got predictions from everybody here except for Travis. So Ashley and myself went with Breezango, and Will.
I have my picks. Jeez.
Okay.
I
Wait,
thought you had them last night.
You just made your picks?
No, I don't have yours.
I picked the Bucks.
Yes, you did, and so did Will. So we split that.
I picked Reigns.
Hold on. No, don't do that. Do it in order.
Okay, then I picked.
Did you pick Zayn or Owens?
I picked. Well, that wasn't the next match.
I don't care. It's an order I have.
I picked Zayn.
Natalia or Becky?
We don't have that on there, but I would have picked Natalia.
What do you mean you don't have that on there? The match was
I
booked.
I didn't have it on the card.
Tag match.
Which one?
The women's tag match.
Oh, I had Bailey, and I had the person being Bailey, and I had Bailey and Sasha winning.
Yeah, we weren't doing as an extra point this time around. It was just the matches. Why to the New Day?
I think I had the New Day. Yeah, New Day.
Cena and the G's or the club.
Is that really an answer?
You never know.
Do you really have to ask?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to.
I'm always.
My answer for the last 4 weeks for Zayn Owens was I don't give a fuck.
We'll get to that.
And I think tonight I was proved correct, but we'll get to that.
Miz or Darren Young?
I had Darren Young.
Okay, Rusev or Ryder?
I had Ryder.
And main event?
I had Horseface.
Aquaman. Okay, good. So in the
night.
a lot of us did. So the opening match, Ashley and I got 1 point, and you and Will got 0 points. All right, we move on.
If you had a point for every point you would have had in the pre-show for WWE Battleground, you would have had 0 points.
I hate you.
That's funny. All right, we move on.
But to be fair, what was the biggest mistake you made? But we'll get to that.
We start off the show on pay-per-view with our women's tag match. Charlotte and Dana.
Move.
Yeah, it's a very strange way to start off the show. I guess it would probably be to get the huge reaction from the mystery partner. So Charlotte comes out with Dana, and then here comes Sasha, and the next thing you know, you hear very familiar music. And Travis is finally rectified for one night only.
I am. Oh my gosh. I walked into my house at 8:05. And I said, Mom, I'm going downstairs. I don't care if I get a shower, because I was at a amusement park today. I said, I'm not going to get a shower. I'm going to see if it's Bailey. So I run downstairs, turn on my PS4, and I'm like shaking the PS4. I'm like, go faster! I type in my code. And I already have it on the network. I pull it up, and all I hear is da da da. I'm like, there's Bailey! And Mom's like, oh. I hear Mom upstairs. She's like, oh no. And my friend Cam, who was over watching, he said, what happened? Or she said, what happened? And she said, it's Bailey. I run upstairs wearing my Bailey shirt, and I said, Mom! And she's like, we know. Have fun. I'm like, I will. And I literally sat in front of the TV. I was just, oh my goodness, it was amazing.
Oh boy.
It's my match of the night.
4, 5. Oh, not even close.
No.
Not even close.
I
I
bet if I
understand.
watched it again, like if I watch it again like tomorrow or something like that, which I probably will, it'll be probably Zayn and Owens because that was a really good match too.
Yeah,
But
but you know, the thing is, it was a decent match. But guess who let the side down again?
Dana Brooke,
Yeah.
yeah,
She was the problem in the match.
You know, let's just say that Charlotte and Bailey and Sasha have known each other for quite a while.
Yeah.
Hence, they have chemistry. Hence, they know. That's why if you go back to the NXT archives, the four-way that those three and Becky Lynch had was incredible. When you switch out and put in Dana Brooke, who is green,
Big time.
it's not gonna work.
Yeah. So, big reaction for Bailey. No surprise.
The great thing that I want to come from this is every show now just has the fans basically hijacking Raw and SmackDown, going, "We want Bailey."
Yep.
Because
they did
when
this to shut
that
everyone
happens, they'll
up.
realize, "Why aren't you cheering for Nia Jax?" And everyone's going,
We don't
"Really asking us that question, Vince? Are you really fucking asking us that fucking question, Vince?" Quote, to take a word from Asuka, Vince, you talk too much.
Nice.
But yeah,
So,
it was pretty solid. Interesting finish though. Go ahead, Owen.
yeah, we'll get to that. The wacky arm flailing inflatable tube men are actually out for the entrance. Crowd were really into Bailey. Shock, surprise, a lot more than they have been in NXT lately. Um, I think that's because they're burnt out on it, unfortunately, which is a shame. This is the reason why Bailey needs to come up soon. But the conversation that we had comes into play. Who's left on NXT?
Fucko!
Exactly. A lot of people that haven't got a shot yet. A lot of people that haven't brought up to television yet. That are still doing house shows, and a lot of people that are probably not even under contract.
Mm-hmm.
So yay! Asuka's the champion of a division that has no other people in it. Awesome. Billy Kay is the only person that's really you can say anything about, and I guess a very slight mention to Liv Morgan. But other than that, everybody else, no, there is nobody else. Deonna Purrazzo, but she's not under a contract yet. And how many heels do we have in this
Yeah.
lineup? None.
By taking Nia and Alexa and Carmella out, you've literally just taken the hole out the bottom of the dilapidated boat.
Yep. It's like the TNA Knockouts division. When TNA started the Knockouts division, it was on top of the world. It was obviously it's not the greatest women's wrestling that you're gonna see, because obviously we have stuff like Shine and Shimmer. We'll talk about that on Wednesday. But I mean, TNA Knockouts division was pretty revolutionary for what it was. And then one by one, people left or people decided they didn't want to do anything with them, so they became a shell of their former selves, and that's what's going to happen that's what has happened to the NXT Women's division, which is a shame. So Bailey got some shine in the match. She got her normal comeback, her shoulder blocks in the corner, the back roll, the leaping elbow. That's pretty much all you can say about that. I mean, there really wasn't much you can say. Sasha got the hot tag, and basically Sasha ended up going for the bank statement, but she hangs onto the ropes, and she ends up hitting it anyway, rolling her into the actual crossface itself, and tapping Charlotte out clean in the center of the ring. Very interesting.
Which has me worried.
Yeah, it makes me nervous about SummerSlam now. Charlotte may retain at SummerSlam, and I can't see why they would do that.
I can think of 5 reasons.
God.
We're gonna spell them out. Flair.
Yeah. Basically, the match ended with a big hug, which was nice. There really wasn't anything about Bailey. She pretty much came in, had a cameo, and then she bombed out.
They kept stressing on the commentary.
This was a one-time
deal.
Yep.
Despite the fact we know that ain't the case. We know that this is a see you in a few months deal.
I mean, personally, if it were me, Ashley, I would have had the mystery partner be someone else, so you would have given Charlotte and Dana the win, and that way Sasha could take the match and the title at SummerSlam outright.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't go that route. They could have done anything else. They could have made the mystery partner anybody. That person could have ate the pin or tapped out or got cheated.
Remember the last time we had a mystery person
in
the opening match for a pay-per-view? It could have easily been Alberto Del Rio.
Oh, don't worry, Travis. He's probably going to be leaving WWE in October when his contract's up anyway, so don't worry about it. Yeah, I was going to save that for Wednesday, but I thought I guess I can say it now since.
Na 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 na. Hey, hey, hey. Fuck off.
No. Aside from that, though, Travis, don't you realise that means there's one less person on the roster?
Yeah, that's another issue.
I fucking
And a
don't care.
roster that's already threadbare.
Oh, yeah, real quick, I want to mention that Michael Cole ended up saying that Sasha took out Bailey because he mistook Sasha for Charlotte.
Yeah.
I want to mention that.
No man.
He's injured.
Yeah, but it is interesting that the women's champion tapped out clean in the center of the ring. It makes it, like I said, it kind of does make me nervous a bit. But now Sasha has a legitimate claim to a title shot, so.
Yeah, but Charlotte will say, well, that isn't good enough.
You have to beat all these women on Raw tonight in order to get a shot at me.
Yeah.
Could happen. Wouldn't shock me. But if you want to talk about things.
No, it'll be, right, you have to beat. You have to beat Eva Marie. And everyone in the crowd goes, really?
God.
The great thing is Eva Marie should then win and then get to challenge Charlotte.
All right.
And then Vince can find out why he should never have brought up Eva Marie so soon.
There's a lot of people he shouldn't have brought up so soon. Travis, besides everything, other than that, what did you think of the match itself?
It shouldn't have been the first match.
I agree with that.
It should have been the first match. Should have been Bailey and not Bailey, Natalia. Sorry, I'm really tired. Natalia and Becky. Just because make it like 8 minutes to 10 minutes, and then make Bailey and Sasha versus Charlotte and Dana, I suck at wrestling. The semi-main event. It should have been Natalia highlight reel. Everything else is fine after that, and then where the highlight reel was, that's where you put the women's tag match. Then you have the triple threat.
See, they wanted a big pop for Bayley when she came out, and that's exactly what they got out of it.
They would have had. They still would have had one.
I don't know. Crowd was kind of wishy-washy tonight.
Because do you guys remember the last pay-per-view? When was the last pay-per-view DC had?
That's been a long time.
Wasn't it like Capital Punishment or something like that?
There has to be one before that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. All I know is the main event shouldn't have been a triple threat.
Nope. We'll get to that. Don't worry. Ashley, have any further thoughts about this match before we move forward?
It was nice to see Bayley. She fit. It's
Mm-hmm.
not nice to see Dana Brooke. She still doesn't fit. Intrigued to see what happens in the 4 weeks we've got now until Super Slam.
Summerfest.
You guys are gonna hear a lot of that decorated war hero John Cena coming up next, starting on Monday.
Oh God.
Why?
Because I can.
Really now?
What did they decorate him with? Haberdashery glitter.
With Doshiri!
All right. We move forward.
Jeez, this is ridiculous.
They decorated him with bees. Was Nicolas Cage involved?
I'm trying to find out. Yeah, I was right. The last pay-per-view was June 19th, 2011, Capital Punishment, Verizon Center, Washington, D.C.
They've had plenty of, I think, Raws and SmackDowns over the last few years, but yeah, the last time they were in
main
DC
eventing
for
Capital Punishment?
I didn't see that show actually.
oh God, you should realize this. This was Cena versus R-Truth.
Oh God, yeah, it was.
Little Jimmy.
Slavish. That's all I'll say, and me and Owen will crack a smile. And probably Asa.
God, that card was horrible.
I want to see what that card was. Capital Punishment.
Anyway.
Oh, and there's a Barack Obama character.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
6-man tag action. The Wyatt family against the New Day. The story about this was the fact that Xavier Woods basically had to fight his demons, literally and figuratively.
What, Kane?
They played him up as completely terrified by the Wyatts in every way possible. It's the only thing that doesn't make him be as fun-loving as he normally is.
I would. I'd be terrified. I don't want to fucking wrestle Braun Strowman.
Yeah, no one does.
So out of 22 people on that card, 10 of them work for the company.
That happens.
That's ridiculous.
So we get towards the end where Bray's in the ring with Kofi Kingston. Kofi goes for trouble in Paradise. Bray ducks, goes for Sister Abigail, and Xavier shoves him aside. So finally, he's about to man up. And Kofi takes this time to leap off the top, and Xavier just stands there as Kofi gets punched right in the face. Bray hits a huge Uranagi, and finally, Xavier Woods has had enough. He attacks, and he goes all consequences Creed on him. So eventually, he hits a high kick. Bray like basically stagger bumps on it. He hits a splash off a short walk up the ropes. Rowan gets in the ring, goes for a clothesline. He ducks that. He gets a super kick. Xavier starts pounding away on Braun Strowman, but of course you can't knock the big man down. So while he's pounding on Braun Strowman, Big E does the, oh my god, one of these days he's not going to make it, tope to the outside, which he needs to stop doing that because it is dangerous.
I mean, most of the times people wonder why it's called a tope suicida.
Exactly.
Big E keeps proving that it should be called a suicida tope, not the other way around.
Big E better thank his lucky stars he has very strong neck muscles. Honestly. Because if somebody the size of Xavier Woods did something like that every single match, eventually he's going to crash and burn. So
we'd have another Enzo and Cass moment.
Exactly, and we don't want that. So we finally get to the finish. So it's Exorcist time for Bray, and that leads to a kick from Xavier, which is ducked, and out of nowhere, Bray hits Sister Abigail and gets the win. I don't mind that. Wyatt should have won. Wyatt needed to win. Only issue is they're not on the same show with the tag titles.
That isn't what they were about.
I know. They're not about championships. That's always been the case. They don't care if they win or lose as long as they make an impact. And do as much damage as possible to their opponents. That's always been out there.
Follow the custard.
It was fine. It says it went less than 10 minutes. It felt longer.
It felt super long.
But, I mean, it was okay for what it was. It's the exclamation point on the feud. Because you can't have a tag title match now. I mean, I guess you could have a tag team title match at SummerSlam if you really wanted to. But I don't think they're going that route. I think this feud's over with. Wyatt's win, and now they can actually do something on SmackDown. And Braun Strowman can go to Raw and just fade away into Oblivion feud with the Big Show and Mark Henry. Ashley, thoughts?
The storyline and everything was good.
Right.
And it's sort of like with the opening match. They all did really good jobs. Apart from Braun. Because, I mean, stop me if you've heard this before, but that person was too green.
He's got the size. He's got the look. That's about it. He's not quite ready yet. But then again, WWE has always said time in and time out that they're basically telling him not to do what he's capable of so he can bust that stuff out down the line. I'm still waiting, guys. I'm still waiting.
We're never going to see it.
Well, given the fact that pretty much the IWC killed his push dead in its tracks when they completely rejected him even more than they rejected Roman. All right, we move forward. Travis, you have any thoughts on the match before we move on?
Go.
All right, point taken. Lana's in the ring with something that might as well be a wedding dress. And Rusev comes out. Zack Ryder's introduced next. He's got Sting's jacket from the Great American Bash 1990 on. Byron Saxton actually brings this up on commentary. The gear, it's funny because he has Sting's jacket, and Ashley, you remember when the Ultimate Warrior battled Sergeant Slaughter for the WWF Championship? And he had the red, white, and blue white gear as well. So it was kind of a Blade Runner's tribute, basically. Don't know where the Macho Man stuff came from, but yeah. Sting and Warrior, Blade Runners make sense. We get the normal stuff in this match. Out of nowhere, Ryder hits the Rough Rider. He goes up for the elbow drop. Rusev gets the knee up. Knee to the elbow, and the JCVD kick to the back of the head. The accolade. Ryder tries to fight out of it. He succumbs to the accolade. Right after, not the regular accolade, but the super powerful pull you back and stretch you like you're on some sort of a medieval torture device accolade, and that's how it ends. So Rusev starts beating up Zack Ryder, and the next thing you know, some Mark comes out of the crowd with music for some reason. Don't know why. Yeah, I just wanted to use that for humor. So Mojo hits the ring because why not, I guess. Mojo runs down, yells at Rusev, and that's it. That's all he does. Rusev should have kicked him in the head, stomped him in the back, and crushed him like a grape. But no. Rusev powders because he doesn't like being yelled at, and all Mojo does is help Zack to the back. Please tell me they're not going with Mojo as the next challenger. Not at SummerSlam.
The build-up looked like it. The build-up looked like it.
Blow it off on SmackDown then, where it doesn't matter.
Rusev isn't on SmackDown.
See, that's the thing. It doesn't even matter. This feud is between two people that are not on the same roster.
Which means that you'll be seeing plenty of these people then show up on that roster. That's the thing.
Can we start trading people then?
We've already established that, you know. Then again, if Miz is on the other brand, then you could still do it brand specific like that. So, I don't know. They seem to present it as if it be Mojo, but then of course he's on the wrong brand.
Yep.
And of course we could have trades aplenty.
Yes. Breezango goes to Raw, and
Each later there going, will anybody watch WWE Game Night?
and then Jinder Mahal shows up when we get the return of 3MB on Raw.
I think Drew's made himself in somewhere else. Can't think why.
Oh, they call him 2MB then after Drew left.
With respect, they should call him 1.5 MB.
I'd like to have seen Zack Ryder win this, but obviously he wasn't going to. I hate the fact that this is going to lead to Zack and that goof in a tag team again. I hate the Hype Bros. I'm not a fan of Mojo Rawley. I'm sure he's a nice guy. I've heard he's a nice guy. He seems like a very nice guy. I don't like him as a performer. I never have. I don't buy into his character. I don't care about it. It doesn't matter to me at all.
I like them.
I know you do. I get that. And a lot of other people agree with you. I just don't like him. I don't get him at all.
I'm so hyped.
He's Hacksaw Jim Duggan without talent.
Wow.
Yeah, that just happened. And there goes the viewership. No, seriously though. I mean, if they really, really want to commit to building Mojo, they need to make him Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Give him the American flag, and he's already doing the 3-point stance and everything. You might as well just roll with that if they really want to. But Ashley brought up an even better idea for SummerSlam that some people would sour on if they actually knew about it.
Well, you know something, brother?
Exactly. Kurt Angle's not going to be taking any bookings, dude. So that leaves only one challenger.
Stop mentioning me because you won't expect it when I get announced, brother.
I've never won the U.S. title, brother.
But you know, since WrestleMania, brother.
In the Silverdome.
My place of residence right now, brother. I need to phone my sister, brother.
I'd never lose in New York, brother. That's probably about true, actually. You know, honestly, if that ends up happening, though, I know it may tick off a lot of people, but I think it actually would work if they did it right.
Well, it's got to be somebody big to take on Rusev and have Rusev lose so he can have a honeymoon.
Exactly. It's either going to be one or the other, because I can't see it being anybody they currently have. The answer that makes
somebody coming in.
Unfortunately, there's a really good built-in answer. The only problem is this person is so deteriorated right now, there's no way that he ever could do another wrestling match. If everything were correct in the world and this person was still able to wrestle and still able to really function, I mean, he's gone through a lot. It's SummerSlam. The person that should face Rusev would have been Lex Luger. But obviously that match can't happen. It'll never be able to happen, but Kurt Angle could. And yes, Hulk Hogan definitely could happen. You heard it first here on the Popcast Network if it happens. I ain't hearing anybody else throwing these names around.
I'm just thinking left field because most cases that's what you have to do in wrestling.
That's correct.
Unless you're Sasha Banks, who says, "Oh, not even the internet marks will get this one." It's exactly what the internet marks were saying.
Everybody was thinking that. All right. So, Travis, any more thoughts before we move forward?
He's dead.
Travis, you awake?
He's gone into hibernation for the next few minutes because he knows what's coming.
All right. So, Ashley, you have a promo apparently in the back.
What? Oh, yeah. Foley and Steph talking, and Steph comes in, basically saying he's going to win tonight. That's pretty much it. Nothing substantial. Yeah. Wait until we get to Sunday night Raw down later on.
God. And then we get to what is rightfully the main event of the evening at less than an hour and a half into the show.
Well, no, because this was your first hour headline act.
Yes, but for the rest of the night, nothing else could even come close to it.
Well, for the next two matches, the crowd were like, "We don't give a shit. We're recovering."
Well, you look what they gave you for the next two matches. I understand that.
Yeah, but look what they gave you before those two matches.
All right.
We told everybody it'd be a main event caliber match, and people went, "Nah." And we went, "Have you not seen a Kevin Steen versus El Generico match anywhere?"
Well, you basically did tonight.
Christ, that moment. But I will let you do it. Actually, no, I need to get the YouTube clip.
God.
the move. Well, I mean, it wasn't the move by Kevin, but it was the move that we thought was banned. Oh, we'll get to that though.
All right. And it wasn't the way that I wish it could have been, but it was still pretty awesome him to see it happen.
I think that's the only way you could get away with it.
With that move, yes, you were correct. I'll tell you though, if that match goes to WrestleMania next year, which I think it will, I guarantee we see that move. I think we see both of them because that's a big deal
Mm-hmm.
and a one-time only situation. But we'll get to that. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, promoted as the last encounter between the two. Yeah, that's not happening. But I have a feeling they'll take them away from each other for a little bit. Alright, got a lot of notes on this one. I'm sure you're not surprised, one iota. So, Sami hits the palm chop and the wrist lock into the double jump swinging DDT, which is countered by him getting crotched on the top rope. When he crumples to the canvas, he eats the cannonball for a near fall. We transition later in the match, and Owens charges in. He eats the Michinoku driver for a near fall. He rolls to the floor. Sami pulls the foot before Sami gets his foot pulled before he's getting ready to go for the Tope Con Hilo. And they fight on the outside. Owens goes for the apron bomb. Sami goes for the Arabian press. He gets too much spring on it and almost drops on his neck on the ring apron. And he also knees Kevin Owens in the head. So he didn't land on his neck, he landed on his shoulder. So for the rest of the match, Owens worked the shoulder, and Zayn sold the shoulder. Because in these matches, you actually sell. So Sami hits the Blue Thunder for the near fall. Sami goes to the top rope after headbutting Owens off. Leapfrog over, walks into a super kick, 1-2, and a kick out. Owens with a crippler crossface. I gotta call it what it was. That's exactly what it was. Sami gets his foot on the bottom rope. So 2 running clotheslines in the corner. He charges in. Sami catches him with the exploder to the buckle. Sets up for the haluva kick, but he gets stopped when Owens powders to the outside. Sami goes up top, gets caught on his shoulders, and Sami ends up hitting a brainbuster on the ring apron. Not on the top turnbuckle like we wish it could be, but I swear to you, it's coming.
You didn't do it properly.
Well, that's about as good as I was going to be able to yell.
Yeah, sorry. I was paying more attention to other shit that's going on. Yeah, this.
Trying to go for a super play. Oh no!
I still have Popcast to do. So yes, it wasn't on the top turnbuckle, but I swear to you, it's coming. So Sami beats the count. Owens rolls back in right at 9. They both are down. They get up to their feet. They trade blows. We get dueling chants. They have a hockey fight that carries them to the outside. Sami goes for the torpedo DDT, but gets caught with a super kick. So he is basically like draped across the middle rope. Just basically got his head kicked in. Owens hits a cannonball in the corner while he is in that precarious position. Hits a frog splash off the top for a near fall. Crowd's getting into it. He goes for the pop-up, but he gets caught. Wrist lock, double jump, swinging DDT. Zayn charges in for the haluva kick again. One more super kick. So he goes for the pop-up one more. Zayn leapfrogs over, hits the Tiger Suplex 85. Owens gets up again, goes to swing the clothesline, gets another Tiger Suplex 85. Sami charges for the haluva kick, gets caught up, pop-up powerbomb, and he barely gets his foot against the rope for the break. So he basically has got Zayn where he wants him, but he's getting frustrated. Owens goes, "Why won't you stay down? Don't make me do this." Sami's like begging him to fight him. So he's like slapping him around. Sammy just has enough. He slaps Owens right in the face. He catches the clothesline with an exploder into the turnbuckle. Another Tiger Suplex 85. Hits the haluva kick, and he catches him. And he looks at him for a little bit. Maybe he's going to back off a little bit. But no, he tosses him back in the corner, runs off the buckle, hits the haluva kick, and wins clean as a sheet in the center of the ring. This match, my God, there is nothing that could have followed this match the rest of the night. You want to tell a story? That match told a story.
Yep.
I mean, this match, it got almost 20 minutes. I mean, in essence, obviously, we're not talking about match quality, because that's never going to be the case. But the best comparison I can think of would be that this feud is Tommy Dreamer and Raven. They fight forever. Usually the heel wins, but every once in a while, the babyface finally gets the victory.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what we got tonight. Zayn wins. And I think they're going to...
That last minute of Zayn's reactions.
Oh my God, it was so awesome.
It was so close to "I'm sorry, I love you."
Oh, it totally was. Like
That
I said,
bit where he was hesitating to do the first haluva kick, then did it, held him in sort of like a dead guy embrace, or a live guy embracing dead guy sort of thing for so long, then putting him back up again, taking an even more cautionary, I don't want to do this, but I got to. Then doing it and then getting the win. Backstage, those two had a fucking giant hug.
oh my God, yes. And here's another thing, too. When you blow off a feud, usually you resort to weapons. You resort to extreme violence. This match was just a hard-hitting, strong-style war between two people that know each other better than anyone on the entire roster.
Yep.
And it was done so well. And I love the video package to build it up, too. WrestleMania, I'm telling you, right now, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, WWE Championship in Orlando needs to happen.
Well, no, but SummerSlam, we've got to have Ambrose versus Kevin Owens first.
You can't do that. They're on different rosters.
Remember, the WWE champ will be jumping ship.
That's right.
Dean's going to be on every show because he's the champ.
I think that they're going to do that.
Considering Cena and AJ are going to be busy, and Orton's going to be busy, there's nobody on the SmackDown roster that's worthy of challenging Dean.
You are correct.
And I think we're going to have Rollins and Reigns continue their feud.
Yep.
So logically, you'd have to say that it needs to be Kevin.
There's a lot of things you can do right now, and I'm very interested in the prospect of it.
Bray take on Dean?
Yeah, you could.
I don't know if that's a SummerSlam match.
Might be.
I mean, they've got a history, admittedly, but, Oh, something worth noting, because I've just seen it retweeted by Alvarez.
Okay.
Rusev tonight tweeted, "I can't believe Fan jumped in the ring and nobody stopped him. I need to challenge. It's just too easy."
That's what I said, too, when I was doing the review a little bit ago. I was like, yeah, some Mark jumped in the ring and apparently had music for some reason.
Mojo was a fan.
If only it could stay that way. Now, we get our next match. What had to follow this? Natalya and Becky Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
Travis, do you have any thoughts on Zayn and Owens first?
He's still asleep.
God bless it. That's what happens with these
Like,
pay-per-views.
I will admit, for the rest of this last few hours, I've been in and out of sleep as well, because the feed that I got provided thankfully went down right after that match. So I was like, yeah, it's fair.
Nice.
So I was getting intermittent things.
All right, so we'll get to that then.
Yeah, let's get to the fact that all I was seeing from people that were watching it on the forums and on the boards and everything was just like, wow, the crowd is dead.
Yeah,
It's
crowd
understandable from what they did.
didn't care. Natty worked the leg. And so much so, I'll give Becky the benefit of the doubt here because she worked the leg, and you know how you normally do the charging forearm into the corner? Becky limped over to hit the forearm in the corner. She hits the Bexploder for a near fall. Natty with a high elbow goes for Natty by nature, but it gets countered, goes for a sharpshooter, countered into this disarmer, to a roll up for a near fall, into the sharpshooter, but no, Becky gets the ropes. Becky with a kick up top for a shotgun drop kick for a near fall, starts pounding away. The referee's trying to back her off. So Natalya kicks the knee between the referee's legs. Becky goes down. She gets locked into the sharpshooter. She tries to fight it. She fights it. She fights it. She gets dragged in the middle. She fights it again. And she keeps trying to fight out, but Natty cinches back, and Becky's forced to tap out. Yeah. It was it was okay, but I mean, it was in a death spot on the show. Becky really needs to get some sort of a victory at this point. I mean, she's on a show with a bunch of people. She doesn't have a title on her show, and easily she's one of the best workers on SmackDown. So, I don't know where this is going. Natalya wins on not having a title on her show. I mean, this is not going to lead to Natalya and Charlotte. So, maybe Natalya will be the first challenger for Sasha Banks when she wins the title at SummerSlam, but I'm kind of thinking they're going to go with Bayley. But they may, like I said, they may set that up for the Rumble or for, like I said, for WrestleMania. But I think WrestleMania is going to be the four horsewomen four-way for the title. If you're an NXT fan and you're at WrestleMania next year, you're going to be very happy. I'm going to say that right now. It's just building to that. Thoughts on the match, Ashley?
I'm having some weird tech things, so I don't know if this will get through. So I'll say it anyway. Yeah, okay match. Thing is, these two can do better.
Right.
Just to clarify, this was or not?
Uh-oh. This was a
submission
what?
match? Submission match.
No. Nope.
Everyone in the chat was going, it is, but it isn't, but it is. It's like, it's...
May have been booked as such, but it wasn't one.
Pretty good. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say pretty good because that's oversaying it. It was solid, but it wasn't going to be exceptional, really.
Right. So we move on to a promo. Dean Ambrose is in the back.
I didn't catch this one, so you have to pick up that one.
No, I got this. Dean Ambrose is preparing himself for the title match tonight. Shane and Bryan approach him. He says Reigns and Rollins don't have what you have. The jacket, the tank top, no. Heart. That's why he's the champion and why he's walking out the champion. Because he wants it more than they do. Bryan says he's fought a lot of wars with the Shield, but they never worried about Rollins or Reigns. They only worried about Ambrose because he's the best. That's why they drafted him to SmackDown, #1. And Ambrose basically said that you were my favorite person to beat up in the Shield. Don't take that the wrong way. It was a decent promo for what it was. There really wasn't much to it, but it was there. All right. So Darren Young is introduced with Bob Backlund. Oh, my God. The Miz comes out with Maurice, and I'm not going to lie, they were wearing, like, masquerade masks. There was a scare zone at Halloween Horror Nights 24 called Masquerade Unstitched, where people were wearing masks that were kind of like Eyes Wide Shut. And I'll give kudos to JBL for bringing up Eyes Wide Shut by name, and Stanley Kubrick as well. So that was interesting. I thought that was fun. That's about all I can say about this match. Darren Young versus The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. This match was all over the place.
This card was just all over the place.
Yes. Oh, you're awake. Awesome.
It's just, ugh. There was high points of this card. Most of it was like I don't want to say this could have been a SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view, but it really was.
Well, not until, partially in some ways.
It could have totally been like it was a B pay-per-view.
That's what Battleground is.
Like this is what I think of the WWE. You have the beginning of the year is the Royal Rumble. Then you're like, we have Payback, which we set up something. No, is it Payback?
I don't know the order anymore.
Was it Payback that was after? No, because it was Payback. So it was. Shoot. What was the one before Mania?
Oh my God.
I don't remember. But okay, you got the big four, you got Rumble, you got Mania, you got SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. TLC's somewhat of a good pay-per-view sometimes. Extreme Rules is okay sometimes. And Money in the Bank has a gimmick that's actually pretty cool. All the other pay-per-views suck. Depending on what the matches are. That's the only reason why I think this brand split's going to work.
I don't.
Is because of all these pay-per-views.
I think it's going to be a failure.
I think the only thing that'll save it are these pay-per-views. And if the pay-per-views don't save it, it'll be the total.
It's overkill. It's overkill. There's way too much.
Where'd Ashley go?
He dropped. He'll be back.
Okay.
So we got Backlash and Clash of Champions in September. Right now we have Hell in the Cell in October, and then we have Survivor Series in November and TLC in December. And on top of that, there's going to be other brand shows as well. Let's talk about this match, shall we? Oh, this was bad. It's really bad. Again, Darren Young should not be using the overhead belly to belly because it just does not work for him. Miz goes to the apron. Darren hits the backdrop suplex on the ring apron for a near fall. Backlund calls for the crossface chicken wing, so Darren Young goes for it, but it gets countered. And Miz ends up getting frustrated and leaving. but Backlund stops him dead in his tracks. So Darren goes in and he beats on the Miz outside, and Maurice ends up slapping Backlund, and then she drops down, making Darren Young think that Backlund hit her. I don't know what would happen with this. Backlund ripped off his white shirt, and of course he can't really do anything because his suspenders are on, so he kind of looks like an old man getting dressed after a lovemaking session. I don't like that. It was really weird, really awkward. Darren locks on a Cobra Clutch, not a crossface chicken wing, mind you. And that's the end of that. Double count out here. I don't know what this was. I do like how after this was over and Backlund was standing there looking disheveled, Darren Young was looking at his hands, which takes you back to 1994 of Mr. Bob Backlund, which is what he used to do when Backlund would put someone in the crossface chicken wing, and then afterwards he would like kind of snap back into it, like, what did I just do? That was fine. But I don't know why at all this happened. This feud is probably done. Both superstars will do something else. And that's it. Thoughts on the match, Travis? All right. Ashley, welcome back. Thoughts on the match?
Which ones?
I am on Darren Young and The Miz.
Have to be honest, and it was interesting.
It was strange.
I mean, the ending was.
Yeah, I didn't like the finish at all.
The ending was strange, but I'd say that it was solid, mostly.
I mean, the match itself was fine. It's just when we got to the finish, it was kind of like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
God, speaking of that, we get to our next match. John Cena, Enzo Amore, and Big Cass against the Club. This is all you because there's a lot of things that you could say here.
Well, again, I was in and out of this one, so I mean,
I got this.
The finish was what it needed to be.
I agree.
But there were some sort of questionable bits at certain points.
Well, first off, the promo is what set this match apart. John Cena comes out first.
Of course he does.
Yeah. Enzo and Cass come out. So obviously this is the final time that these three will team up. So Enzo bragged about Cena, and he says that we're the biggest G's here, and then Cena is basically two people, so they're 4G, so they're well connected. How you doing? Enzo says, I got some good advice for AJ Styles in the club. Don't pee in the wind. Don't wear Crocs, ever. Don't make eye contact while eating a banana. And do not step in the ring with us unless you have a great dental plan, because we're going to knock your teeth out. Enzo says, you're going to find out that you can't Washington, D.C. me. Cena bows to Enzo, and then raises his arm in a victorious manner. Big Cass, of course, gets on the mic, and they're doing the Seven Nation Army chant for him, like the "Oh Enzo Amore," that one, the one I hear on What Culture every week.
Yeah.
So Enzo, of course, lets Cass talk. Cass says AJ needs to, because he looks like a soccer mom. He needs to keep doing soccer mom things like getting his minivan and pick up his boys, load them into the minivan, pack a lunch, drive them to Raw, drop them off, and that's where they're going to get a beating. Then down to SmackDown Live to the very long drive. Think about that one time, that one night, Washington, D.C., where Big Cass, Enzo, and Cena proved there's only one way to describe them, and of course everyone spelled out soft, as always.
Yeah.
The match leads to... hold on, I'll look around. The match leads to just like a formulaic six-man tag. Really wasn't much to it. The notes I have here basically start when Cena gets the hot tag. AJ gets tagged in. So he hits his sequence, a couple shoulder blocks, duck the right, proto bomb, five knuckle. AJ lands on his feet, counter into the Pele. Knocks Enzo off the apron for good measure. Goes for the clash, but Enzo stops him with a swinging DDT. Then we go into finishers galore for the first time. Anderson with a spine buster. Cass with a fallaway slam on Anderson. Gallows pole to Cass, and he gets caught with a right hand. Cass inadvertently hits the flying body press on Cena, who catches him and tosses Enzo and AJ. AJ goes for a springboard forearm, and of course he hits Gallows accidentally. AA on AJ, but Anderson pulls him out. Hits a spine buster on the announce table, goes nowhere. Enzo hits the Scotty 2 Hottie DDT off the apron to the floor on Anderson, looked great. Cena back in at 10. AJ hit the Styles Clash, went way too fast and almost dropped Cena on his head. So Cass pulls AJ out, hits the big boot on the outside. Gallows tosses Cass in. And they hit the Magic Killer on Big Cass, take him out. Enzo wants to fight both club members by himself, and Anderson charges in. He goes shoulder first to the ring post and ducks the clothesline. Gallows with a super kick, completely drops Enzo. So Gallows charges in. He misses the charge. AJ up top gets crotched by Cena off the ropes, and Cena clotheslines Gallows over the top. Cena goes up top and goes for the AA off the top. AJ fights out of it with elbows. But Cena's like, I'm going to hit it anyway. And that's exactly what he does for the 3 count. Hot finish. Crowd really into Enzo. Yeah. Really into Enzo and Cass. My God.
Well, somebody had to be.
Yeah. I mean, right now, I'll state that what they're going to do, they're probably just going to do these 2 matches at SummerSlam, just break them up into singles matches. That's fine. Mm-hmm. Oh, yay. Were you awake for the highlight reel?
Yeah.
Weirdly, yeah.
Sadly.
I think I stayed up because it was like, well, I'm going to have to cover this one because if we're going on the rule of thumb for Raw.
Travis, what do you think of the 6-man?
Over in the thing they call the promos.
I still hate Randy Orton. I don't give a fuck if he's back or not.
Wow.
I've never liked Randy Orton.
He got a great line in tonight.
Yeah, he was great tonight. It's just
that's about it.
We keep starting with Jericho saying quiet. Yeah. Saying it's the biggest highlight reel in WWE history. So, you know, that one that they had a few weeks back that was the biggest in history? Nope. No. Says that his guest has been out for 9 months and then will take on Brock at SummerSlam. Here comes Orton, who says that something was missing during his time away, and it was you. He doesn't even mind sharing the ring with this guy. And instead of Orton insulting him, Jericho says instead of Orton insulting him, he should be thankful that he gets to return on the best show and the man who is the best in the world at what he does. And then, of course, you're welcome. So, you know, stealing more stuff from Sandow. And Orton goes, I'm in a good mood, and, don't provoke me, though, because, I might have to hit you with, and then Jericho goes, oh, an RKO out of nowhere? It's like, this is now a thing. Yeah. If you don't watch it, you might get a co-breaker out of nowhere. Lots changed since you've been gone, including the draft. And Jericho says, I've got a present for you. It's the gift of Jericho. And Orton basically says, why does your hair look like Ellen DeGeneres'? Then the
Yeah, that
crowd shout
happened.
Ellen. Because I guess they've been watching Finding Dory as well. I don't know. Pretty random. Jericho, obviously tells the fans to shut up. Says, the force of nature that is Brock Lesnar, and then they have a video package. And then Jericho starts talking about Orton's time developmental and points out, you've always been trying to find a way to avoid him, and thinks that Orton's scared of Brock. And Randy says, well, I need to make a statement in my return, and, the baddest dude in the locker room happens to be Brock. And then says, wow, remember when you came back and you took on Fandango? And then Jericho goes, well, Brock's going to kick your ass. He's going to bounce you around like a rubber ball, and he's going to take you to Suplex City, man. And Orton goes, yeah, I know that, but it only takes one RKO to get Viperville, adding no enhancement needed. Yep.
Yeah, that just
He
happened.
did it. Drop the mic.
That got a noticeable oh from the crowd too.
Jericho says, something tells me that you're gonna suffer for the saying that. And apparently, because he's got communications, Jericho talked with Lesnar and said Lesnar said that Orton was a stupid idiot. Jericho was like, does that make you mad? And then, of course, RKO out of nowhere. That's how we end it.
Yeah.
What the fuck was this doing on a pay-per-view?
I don't know why it was on a pay-per-view.
Also, why the hell was there only one pre-show match? That's the other question.
Why did the bell ring for the main event at 10:55 at night?
Because remember, shows don't finish where they finish.
Oh, that's gonna get old fast.
Well, it's going to be old next year because it's going to be next month. I mean, because next month's 4 hours.
Yeah.
At least. I can't wait for everyone to go, yeah, no. And all of a sudden, these 4-hour Survivor Series just gets ditched.
The only ones that matter are really Rumble, SummerSlam, and WrestleMania.
No, but I'm saying even the Royal Rumble will only be 3 hours. They struggle to fill that anyway, and there ain't enough spots on the roster to make it a 40-man.
No, not anymore.
Unless you bring NXT people in, but you've already established that you aren't doing that. And that right, Bailey?
All right, so we get to the main event. But first, it becomes 1991 again, and it feels like Battle Bowl, the Lethal Lottery, because everybody's in separate locker rooms by their brand.
It's played into what was going to happen at the end.
Zack Ryder looks so pissed just standing there in his suit.
As soon as you saw them all there together, you knew, right, whoever wins, they're going to get a hero's welcome from their brand. I was right.
So, of course, because this match has to happen, Mick Foley, Stephanie McMahon, Shane McMahon, and Daniel Bryan all get ring introductions.
Because reasons.
Rollins comes out first, and then here comes Roman. Roman's wearing his Hollywood beard. Crowd's booing him, of course.
Did you know that Roman can talk to fish?
Yes, I did, actually.
Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Ben.
Good God, yes. Roman can talk to fish. All right. So Rollins gets a mixed reaction. Ambrose is pretty much getting like a hero's welcome, and Reigns is treated like he might as well have just like started a war. So this match was. I mean, there's some good stuff in this match. So at one point, Rollins hits a frog splash, which is not even caught on camera on Ambrose.
Good job, cameraman.
Good job, cameraman. Exactly. So let's start with the beginning and the end here. So a Superman punch to Ambrose. Rollins comes off the top. He eats a Superman punch as well. So Roman cocks a fist once more, and he sets up for the Superman. He hits it. Dean rocks back into the Nigel on Rollins. So yeah, basically they just pinballed Rollins with Superman and the Nigel. So they trade punches for a minute, and at one point, Ambrose and Rollins decide to start beating down Roman, and they get the biggest pop of the night for it. So they set up for the Cerberus bomb, but Roman escapes. Ambrose hits the Randy Savage knee, sending Roman to the floor. And then the Tope Suicida. Rollins hits the Tope Con Hilo, and Ambrose and Rollins start clearing the table, setting up for the Cerberus bomb, which they do to a big reaction through the Spanish announce table. Rollins pulls a chair from under the ring, nails Ambrose. It's no DQ because it's three-way dance, apparently. Sure. Okay. Hits Roman with a chair. Rollins tosses Ambrose in, goes for the pedigree, gets stopped, and he decides he wants to go for the buckle bomb instead. Gets countered into a Rana into the buckle. Ambrose heads up top, and he gets caught with a superplex. And yes, Rollins does the deal for the near fall off the Falcon Arrow. So Seth with the boot goes for the pedigree, gets caught with a catapult, and basically Rollins jumps over the top rope, climbs the top himself, he gets caught. Ambrose superplex is blocked. Roman goes for a powerbomb. Roman boots Rollins off the top and hits Splash Mountain for a near fall. Superman is countered into the Dirty Deeds, countered into a boot in, and goes for Splash Mountain again. He escapes to a backslide for a near fall. Straight punch, then another Superman punch to Dean. Rollins with a boot to Roman, hits the pedigree for a close count. Rollins sets up the pedigree one last time. Roman blocks it. Seth goes for the buckle bomb, nails it. Roman completely no-sells it, hits the Superman, spears Rollins. Ambrose hits Dirty Deeds on Roman and gets the 3 count.
That's what you get for taking Adderall.
Ooh, so is Vince still mad? So the locker room, the locker room empty, and I think it's hilarious that the last thing you see before we go off the air are the Usos raising Dean Ambrose in the air. It's all about your brand. It's all about your brand. I mean, okay. Ambrose needed a solid win to solidify the reason why he's champion. I don't mind that. the title being on SmackDown right now opens up a lot of interesting options. Not very many, but a few interesting options. So, I mean, we'll see where this goes. I mean, there's been rumors that the title is not going to, they're not going to be a second one. They're not going to bring back the World Championship. They're going to just keep the WWE Championship on both brands. But we'll see if that's true or not. It was very interesting. So, Simon Gotcher's there.
Black eyes.
Yeah. He was kind of in the background. So, yeah, it was interesting.
Can't think why. I mean, look at the eyes of Sin Cara.
Good God. 17 minutes after the top of the hour, the pay-per-view ends.
Remember, they're always going to overrun.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder how this is going to fuck up the home video releases.
Likely.
Because there's only so much data you can put on a disc.
That is a good point.
You know, not including extras and whatever.
Right.
At the rate they're going, there ain't going to be enough data on the disc in order to have either special features on the DVD version. And I don't think it would be costly. It'd be too costly to put a second disc in it. It's different for SummerSlam if that's going to now be 4 hours. You can do that because there's a lot of content you could have as bonus features just to fill up the second disc, so it isn't just empty and whatever.
Right.
Yeah, like how they do it with Mania and whatever. Thinking about that though, especially with the Mania stuff, they probably even pushing. They were pushing to get that onto 3 discs, as it were. Then again, they probably weren't getting the entire pre-show, so that's probably why they only had one match, because they realise, yeah, the home media releases of this are going to be fucked up.
Right.
And again, they probably won't give a damn about that, but I don't know if it's a good enough show. People would want to physically own it, not just have it available on the network. And to be quite honest, just for the Owens versus Zayn match, I know what I'm going to be buying in about 3 months when it comes out. And no, it still isn't that WrestleMania DVD. That'll be a bargain bin when it's on a sale. I'll probably get it second hand when it gets cheap enough. That'll be how much I, want to give WWE money. I won't even give them money. I'll give it to the second hand person, and I won't even give them full price.
Yeah, so that happened.
Well, no, it's just that I just feel that the length of these shows, it's so keep in mind as well. That means if you take into account the pre-show of sorts, people have already had today 4+ hours of WWE content.
Correct.
With another 5 at least, which will probably overrun, at least on Raw, over the next 48 hours. And then, of course, you've got, when we get to SummerSlam, you've got at least 2 hours of NXT. Now, who knows how long that'll be. Then, at least, I would say if you can count pre-show, 5 and a bit hours of SummerSlam. And then 5 on top of that. And then, of course, I'm not even including NXT and the Cruiserweights. That's another 2 on top of that. Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's becoming overkill.
WWE is doubling down, and we'll see if it backfires. Remember, the financial numbers should be coming through, and either it's this Wednesday or Thursday, but they're coming through this week.
Right.
Whether we'll have them for you on Wednesday, I don't know. But either way,
I'll see.
yeah. And this is even before all this stuff. This is just to see whether the network subscriptions are any good.
Yeah, there's a lot of unanswered questions, which we'll start finding out tonight on Raw, and then Tuesday on SmackDown, and then we'll talk about that Wednesday here on Pop.
I also thought it's interesting that just as the pay-per-view is about to start in DC, some Johnny Wrestling guy in Canada simply said, "It's not goodbye, it's see you around."
Yep, exactly.
That means Johnny Gargano is Sting! Holy shit!
Very
Who
true.
knew?
So I mean, yeah, the pay-per-view wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was just kind of there with a couple of higher moments. Like Owens and Zayn won't be forgotten. The main event was fine for what it was. The 6-man tag was okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a serviceable show. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of people saying it's like one of the best shows of the year, and I don't see that. But I mean, I think Owens and Zayn is a match of the year candidate right now.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see what happens. So, Travis, you have any parting words? All right. That's why it's what happens sometimes. So that's your show. That's Battleground. So we'll join you guys tonight at 11:30 p.m. for Raw, and on Wednesday at 10 p.m. for the Wednesday Wrestling Popcast. I'm seeing how that's actually doing really good viewership. So thank you for watching the indie wrestling and world of wrestling show that we do every single week. That show is very fun to do. Got a lot to talk about. Built to destroy for What Culture Pro Wrestling. Lucha Underground is replaced with TNA Impact from a week ago. Sorry. Ring of Honor, Cruiserweight Classic, NXT. There's going to be a lot of stuff from the G1. Because we got, 3 days of G1 to talk about by Wednesday?
5.
Oh, God.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday.
Yeah, and apparently Brother Nero went nuts at Bloody Mania 10, so we'll talk about that as well.
I mean, he didn't go nuts on Impact, but
No.
to be honest, both Hardys went nuts. Apparently, the final deletion style vignettes are now going to be a weekly thing with people. Not in a good way.
So that's Wednesday. Thursday, of course, will be a brand new edition of Sip and Snack Random Flavors. Friday, AJ's Movie Reviews tackles Nerve, Bad Bombs, Jason Bourne. Saturday is regular Sip and Snack, and Sunday is Versus. Cryptic Comment is Justice System. I always forget about that one. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, this Saturday night, the elite of the Popcast Network will grace you with our presence for number 6 for Halloween Horror Nights 26 Popcast. Travis, thank you for joining us tonight. You can find him on Twitter at Travis Coaster. Check out the description bar for his YouTube channel so you can find out more information on Travis. Will wasn't here tonight. It's at HHN Dog, DAWG. His is a link in the description bar. Cleveland is at Contro Cleve. Check him out as well. And I guess since we are finishing up, Ashley.
I'm on Twitter at AshesMyNameUK. Check out the archive of my other podcast stuff of SNS Sticks and Flicks and Hollandy Show over at snsradionetwork.com. Game with Ash will be coming a few days late, mainly because, one, I'm not entirely comfortable with what I'm talking about, mainly because it's a little threadbare. Also, all this was happening, so crazy shit.
Mhm.
But something might pop up in the next few hours that debunks all of that stuff. I can't bother to go into the CS:GO stuff, but let's just say that's got even more murkier and all that. So just follow Richard Lewis on YouTube. You'll find the juicy stuff there. But yeah, there'll be something up, and I might as well say it here because I'll probably forget by the time I get the video to it. I mean, on later on in the week. I will be going hands-on with the PlayStation VR for a second time. Let's hope this time I don't get Kitchen again. What now is Resident Evil. But we'll see.
All right. Follow me on Twitter at Sro and Disney. Follow the network on Twitter at Popcast Network. Check out our Zazzle store for merchandise at Popcast Network. Check out our Facebook fan page at Popcast Network. And that is the show for this week. If you're a Horror Nights fan, like I said, stay tuned to my Twitter for an announcement potentially coming later this week. And in the meantime, if you haven't checked out the podcast for Halloween Horror Nights 26, you can check them out on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. So, that being said, in a world where there are a billion wrestling podcasts, we're very pleased that once more tonight you have chosen a podcast. I want to thank everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for listening. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.
Oh, Roman. How the mighty have fallen. Because of Adderall. The thing is, if he actually was on an esports team, he'd probably get promoted. So be thankful we're not playing Counter-Strike.